My Vietnam War Veterans Day reflections are filled with the memory of young faces, very young faces, the young faces of 18 to 20-year-old soldiers. Mostly, I think about looking over my shoulder during an LZ extraction and catching in the corner of my eye one of these young soldiers scrambling aboard my Huey helicopter. Often seeing him eagerly reaching out to grab the hand of my crew chief. His was a strong hand, offering a ticket to safety and a shower and a hot meal. On one sweltering hot day in particular, I remember turning my head to look over my shoulder at the men loading on board. And when I did, I saw this very young-looking 11 Bravo enthusiastically grabbing my crew chief's extended hand. And as he did, he turned his head, glancing back my way. Our eyes connected, and just for a moment, chaos went silent. As he pulled on that welcoming hand and was hoisted aboard, I could see a slight smile break out broadly across his dirty, tired face. And as he smiled, he silently mouthed the words to me, "Thank you, sir." I smiled back at him and responded with a firm nod. "You're welcome, soldier." He then quickly disappeared from my view as he joined his squad, all of them sitting flat on their asses on that Huey's dirty diesel-stained deck. But I'll tell you, as the last man boarded, I could hear one of the soldiers belt out loudly, singing above all the chopper's deafening noise. "We gotta get out of this place, if it's the last thing we ever do. 'Cause, girl, there's a better life for me and you." I think you know the song. His voice was followed by loud laughter behind me, and his bold singing voice just broke right through the tension. My gunner, he keyed his mic and said with a chuckle in his voice, "Mr. Crane, I guess these boys want us to get them the hell out of here now." As I began to pull on the Huey's collective and nosed her over, I said to myself, "Just another dinky-dow day in a damn stinking rice paddy, on just another wonderful day in Vietnam." For me, that tired and dirty young soldier's face and his smile has become an everlasting image in my mind. It has stuck with me ever since my Vietnam days. And when I think about that soldier, I still wonder, did he make it out? Did he finally make it back to the world? What about his girl? Did he make it back to his girl? I sure hope so. And I sure hope he made it home. I sure hope he made it home standing tall in his boots. I'll never know. And on days like this, I still ponder. And I think to myself, how courageous these young men were to be able to resist their worst innermost fears and facing those fears head on every time they gathered on board my chopper, knowing they were headed directly into a deadly storm's ahead. And despite all that horrible fear, they would jump off my skids into the hellhole of horror and charge boldly into an AK-47's fury. All I can say is, hear me clearly now. We chopper guys know the truth. Those men, those brave men of infantry, the 11 Bravos, the tired, the wounded, the dirty-faced men, those young men were the real heroes of our merciless war. These are the men known to Vietnam veterans all as the grunts. Our choppers delivered those brave grunts day after day into wretched rice paddies and deadly dense jungles, knowing always we will be back to their LZ soon to lift out their wounded, to lift out their dead, only to return later to rescue those poor souls left from their deadly piece of worthless ground. Today I find myself asking, where did we find such brave men? Where did they get all that grit? You know, I don't care what the historians say about the Vietnam War. I was there, and I saw it with my own eyes. Those men, the children of what historians call the greatest generation, those baby boomers, those supposedly spoiled baby boomers, I flew with them every day. And I'm here to tell you right now, those young men were a cut from the best America had to offer. They were the deliverance, these grunts, of God's poorest of selected souls, chosen by a fate undeserved, to serve their country in an unwanted, God-forsaken war. Well, with all that said this day, I want to offer my salute to you all, in particular to you old and bold and now very grumpy grunts, brave soldiers and Marines all. I say to you, have a Vietnam War Veterans Day in peace. Will ya? Welcome home.